This is why we need Cisco in every TV show that has supervillains because the calculator. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 4, Episode 12, Unchained. And this was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. And what did I think of it? Let's get into a little bit more detail as usual. Here we go. So basically, the episode starts off with Nysa Al Ghul in prison. I don't remember if she was taken to prison last time we saw her. I know she was earlier on in the season. We saw her once, I think. And I remember she didn't agree with Malcolm's ways, but I don't remember her being taken to prison. But maybe that was just something that escaped my mind. But yeah, we see her being broken out of prison, and she later runs off and meets Katana. So it looks like Nysa and Katana are, teaming up, and Nysa eventually comes towards the end and makes a deal with Oliver to kill Malcolm Merlyn. So clearly Nysa has this whole plan going on. She wants to get rid of Malcolm once and for all. Not only does Nysa Al Ghul return and Katana, but we also have Roy back, and he's here to help, Oliver, Team Arrow, on this newest mission to fight the Calculator. What the heck? The Calculator is this new villain. He's like a hacker type kind of guy. Kind of reminds you of someone. Yeah. But keeping on the subject of Roy, I gotta say, I really liked Roy coming back. I thought he was, a lot of people hated on Roy during season 1 and 2. And I actually liked Roy, and I think Roy even became more badass when he became Arsenal. So it was really cool to see him back, and I'm kind of sad that this was only a 1-episode deal this season. I actually was hoping he'd stay on for more episodes, so I was kind of disappointed to see that no, that's it. It was just a one-time deal to kind of say goodbye to Thea, and that kind of raises the question more: is Thea going to be the one to die? Because in this episode, Thea was kind of, the side effects from the Lazarus Pit were starting to take a hold of her. And I'm glad Oliver brought up, he noticed from early on in the season that there were some side effects, right? When she had those anger issues. And then he kind of brushed it away for a little bit because he was too occupied with his mayor duties and some other stuff. And so it got to me thinking that I was glad he kind of pointed that out, because when she was coughing there, when Roy came to see her and they were having a nice little chat, the coughing did sound pretty severe, man. If I didn't know any better, I could have thought that the actress who plays Thea was like, she was actually sick that day. So they said, oh, let's write an episode around her being sick. Because she did a pretty good job, I felt that, yeah, she does sound pretty damn sick. And it's not just the coughing part, but the way she sounded and everything convinced me that she could have been sick. So, yeah, whatever, it looks like they're going to have to make a deal, because when Nysa met Oliver at the end, she kind of said, look, there is a way to save Thea, and I'm going to help you. But first you have to kill Malcolm Merlyn. So there's two people's lives on the line right now, and we're going to have to see. And will Malcolm be okay with all of this? It looks like in the preview, maybe. But I'm very curious to see how this is all going to turn out next week. And I'm even more curious, obviously, who's going to turn out to be in that grave. And now I'm starting to turn I don't remember who I said last time. I think I said Diggle last time. But now I'm starting to think maybe it is going to be Thea. And not just because this episode was focused on her a little bit and they were making it seem that way, but because I think they wouldn't have brought Roy back. But maybe that's the trick. Damn these writers. I also like that we got a little Constantine reference from Malcolm, by the way. That was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice little touch while talking about how come, when they brought back Sarah, she didn't get those side effects, or at least they don't know about it yet. Maybe she will. I mean, she's traveling through time right now. Who knows what will happen? But Another thing I really liked about this episode was Felicity's whole thing, taking over Palmer Tech, and how she's dealing with things on a wheelchair. And I thought this was going to be the stuff we were going to see last week's episode. Last week's episode was she was dealing with this consequences and whether she should still be part of the team. Now we're seeing her dealing with the trouble of being on a wheelchair. And she overcame it, man. I believed in Felicity. I knew you could do it. Good job. But we see the calculator there. The calculator, the villain of the episode, who they were trying to take down, who Felicity was like hacking, like trying to hack him, and he was trying to hack her. What the hell? But here's where the interesting part comes in. It's the fact that the calculator is Felicity's father. And I'm like, what? I think some people did speculate that, but I wasn't speculating it, or I wasn't like thinking about it during the episode. And then when he like, hello Felicity, and I'm like, oh my god, is he going to capture her? And they shoot the way her eyes made it look like, yeah, this guy's evil. But nope, she was just surprised to see her father, and oh, dad. And I'm like, why didn't I see that? Like, why didn't I guess right away that, oh, that's Felicity's father? Tech genius, right? I mean, it all makes sense, right? He's a hacker, she's a hacker. That's where she gets her hacking skills from. Makes sense. Not only do we get this, but we find out that Damien Dark's wife is also going to run for mayor now, opposite Oliver Queen. So Oliver wants to talk to Damien Dark. We didn't get to see that in this episode because so much shit was happening. Like, literally, this episode was packed with lots of stuff going on. It was kind of hard to keep up, and it's because of a lot of characters going on. And it's not just the main storyline, but the flashbacks too. The flashbacks have, Shadow returns. At first I thought it was going to be Shadow's sister, but then it actually turned out to be, no, it's a hallucination. And the hallucination is telling Oliver, you have to embrace your killing side, your dark side, or whatever. And so, yeah, it looks like, he finally confessed to that woman that he's with that, hey, I killed your brother. The brother that he killed a couple of episodes ago, like before the winter break. So it's not hard to like follow all these stories, but it is kind of like you have to remind yourself a little bit, like, what happened back then, and then when you start remembering, it gets a little bit easier. But there are so many storylines, especially in this episode. This episode did feel really packed now thinking about it, because I don't even think Oliver even got to meet Damien Dark yet. So I'm guessing that meeting is being put on hold. And obviously the calculator, I was expecting more from him, and it didn't feel like Roy was also heavily featured in this episode when I felt that he should have been, considering who knows the next time we're going to see Roy again. At least he's alive and he's out there, so hopefully we will. I did like that reference that Diggle told when they were talking about the plan to blow up the place, that the place would blow up, and Roy said, okay, I'm going to stay here and then run out. And Diggle tells him, hey, look, you might be wearing red, but you're not the Flash kid. So I thought that was a little nice line, a nice little shout out to the Flash, especially since like Oliver and Felicity both got shout outs in yesterday's episode of The Flash. Gotta love these little connections. So with all that being said, guys, I'm giving this episode a 8 out of 10. It was a good episode, really enjoyed it. Not the best, not the worst. It was good. It was satisfying. And looking forward to next week. Is Merlin going to die? I almost forgot to talk about Merlin. And the thing that I noticed these last couple of episodes have really been focusing on who's going to die, right? And they're showing us, like last week's episode, it seemed like Diggle or Felicity was the first one that they kind of, is Felicity going to be the one to die? And obviously she wasn't. Then is Diggle going to die? Because something happened to him last week that kind of maybe gave us the idea that maybe he could, because he made amends with his family. So it's like, is he making amends with his brother now to kind of set him up to die later on? That way, all his stuff that he already happened with him is all clear. Now, today, they're making it seem like Thea's going to die. Next week, they're going to make us think that Malcolm is going to die. Maybe it is Laurel. Maybe it is Thea. I don't know. It could be anybody. They haven't done one for Laurel yet. A focus episode for Laurel like this yet. So, if they don't, I wonder if it is Laurel. That would be interesting. Right now, if I had to give you what I actually thought, I'm going to guess Thea. Just because this episode tricked me into it. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Who is going to die? Because this is frustrating me. And I can't wait till the end of the season to find out. This is actually something that they're dragging until the end of the season. So, I can't wait to find out, though. I hope the payoff is really good for this arc that they're setting up. And I can't wait for next week. And until next time, guys, I'm ending it here. Take care.